Mayhem Show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Take a journey to our Caribbean paradise at Toyota of Hollywood. Get in the groove with great deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a Corolla, not 24,000, just 17,975. You'll be cruising and chilling with super low 2.99% financing. Feel the rhythms of the Caribbean today at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 16 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new 2024 RDX, $419 a month during our 16th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Florida Panthers are world champions, baby. World champions. All right, first of all, I got to make sure audio-wise, are we good? Are you getting it? Are we good? Are we good? I just got to get a thumbs up because Sean is out for the moment. And so I just got to make sure, since I'm running the show and hosting it, got to make sure that we are kosher. Kosher? All right, good. So that yell did not go for nothing. You know, it was worth it, okay? All right, so we're ready to go, ready to rock and roll. How you guys feeling? You feeling good? I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Our Florida Panthers are world champions. It is it's just some fun stuff to be a part of right now, because you're kind of the center of the universe at this point in time. And you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, you know, right now, and it's actually pretty cool to see, you know, Mr. Kachuk out there at the elbow room, holding up the trophy as the team is in the elbow room, you know, celebrating right now, which is a really, really cool thing. Nothing is more South Florida than the elbow room. Okay? Doesn't matter. This is not about Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties and all this, because, you know, we in this world, we you know, we seem to separate everything. You know what I'm saying? And so this is nothing's more South Florida than the elbow room. Okay? I mean, it's just one of those things. And perfect place to go. The entire Panther team is there right now. Pretty cool stuff, man, to see Kachuk there in the elbow room. And the team, by the way, everybody's out there in the elbow room. It was one of those things. While they were all loading up, people were, you know, like taking pictures and stuff. And you know, here's Barkov cruising around with the cup and in the golf cart on his way to the elbow room. So listen, Viola and Sifu you're going to party first class with these people. You know what I mean? That's kind of the deal. You know, you're going to party first class with them. But pretty cool, man, to see what's been happening and what's been developing with the Florida Panthers as they get to now enjoy. We're going to get to see the cup all over the place, and then it's going to be in places that we're not going to see. You know what I'm saying? But the pictures with the cup are going to be everywhere, because everybody's going to take the cup somewhere now, you know? So it's like our moment, you know? Think about this. This is like you got the President's Cup 3 years ago, and you picked up all those points, and it was the kiss of death, and we found out it was the kiss of death. And then last year, you get to the Stanley Cup final, but you touched the Eastern Conference trophy, which you're not supposed to. You live, you learn. It's a curse. This year, you were on pace to be the President's Cup trophy winner again. And something happened that there was like it's kind of a stoppage there, and they kind of fell back. Instead of first, they fell down to third and fourth and stuff. And they didn't want any part of the President's Trophy. They didn't want any part of touching the Eastern Conference Trophy. And then now they are skating with the Stanley Cup. So it's interesting how in life you've got to crawl before you walk, before you run. And there's a process to growing, and there's a process to learning. And it's goofy bullshit, right? You can't touch the Eastern Conference Trophy. You do that, that's bad luck. Last year, they were hugging it, making love to it. They put it in bed. They had sex with it. They had threesomes, foursomes, orgies. I mean, they did everything with the Eastern Conference Trophy. And then they got smoked in the Stanley Cup. This year, they looked at it and they said, that shit is the plague. Don't touch that shit. Nobody touched it. It worked out, man. It worked out. I can't answer it, but in life you learn. You make a mistake and you hope you learn from that mistake and you try not to make that mistake again. And there you go. Yesterday the Panthers got back to playing physical and defense and wearing the team out and all that shit. As you heard the announcers at the end of the night, the Oilers have no legs left. And that was kind of what you were used to. The last couple of games, you weren't used to the last couple of games. Like, what the hell is going on, dude? They're allowing these guys to run crazy. Nuts. You live, you learn, you grow. You buy the franchise, your Viola and Seafood 10 years ago, and then you start to figure out what you need as coach, what you need as a general manager, what you need as players, who you keep, who you trade, tough trades. By the way, anybody check in with Jonathan Huberdeau? What kind of a night last night was for Jonathan Huberdeau? It's got to be tough because, it's very Tyreek Hill. You're a hell of a player, but we don't need you in order to win. And it's like it's Tyreek Hill sitting here with the Dolphins, and Kansas City has gone on to win 2 more titles without him. Because, you don't need them. You can overcome that. You can go get another receiver. And as long as you have other players and you have a defense and you have a tight end, and you overcome. And then Jonathan Huberdeau just was not the guy you needed at the top. The guy you needed at the top, I just showed you to start the show, holding the cup, Matthew Tkachuk. That's the guy you need. And so they didn't need him and said, no, we're not going to win with you. We need somebody else. Jonathan Huberdeau, that's got to be a rough night for him last night, to sit there and go, wow, they got rid of me and they only got better. They got rid of me and immediately went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then they came back and won it the following year. I mean, the run the Panthers are on right now, the last 3 years, and how they have grown, it's pretty impressive, and you have to make tough decisions. And some of you out there were a little bothered about, oh my God, they're going to trade Jonathan Huberdeau. You know what I'm saying? But I know on this show, if you follow the platform, you guys know I was the first guy in the world that said you'll never win with Barkov and Huberdeau. You must trade one of the two. You must trade Huberdeau and go get yourself a mother effer at the top. And that's exactly what they brought in Tkachuk. Chucky is a guy that doesn't take any shit and does whatever it takes. And he's brought more out of Barkov than ever. Barkov, who is a cigar store mannequin, basically, has shown more emotion than he ever has because of Matthew Tkachuk. So when you're ownership and you buy this team 10 years ago, you got to learn how to run a franchise. And by the way, this happens all the time. Rarely do you have an owner that buys your team that is experienced. It's always a rich guy, rich family, rich woman, whatever it is, rich couple, whatever the combination of ownership is, right? And then they're new at it. Here comes the Walmart people. Now they own an NFL team. Here comes Vinny Viola. Now he owns a hockey team. And they all have to learn on the job. Stephen Ross, got to learn on the job. Mickey Harrison, got to learn on the job. And they all have to do it because none of them have experience. It's rare that you actually, I'm sure it exists. It's happened. I'm sure an owner that used to own a football team bought another football team or a baseball team or so on. And I'm sure it's happened. I don't know, but it's rare. And That's a process in itself that a lot of times fails, right? Because we've seen a lot of owners fail. And Viola and Sifu, all they did was they lived, they learned, and they got better. And in 10 years that they've owned this franchise, it just doesn't happen overnight. This is why you need guys with B's, not M's. You need women that have B's, not M's. You need families that have B's, not M's. Millionaires can't play this game. Billionaires have to play this game because they have to play the long game. They have to have the patience. And Viola and Sifu had the patience to make their mistakes, to learn what they have, to learn and find out what they need to get. And along the way, they've just gotten better and better and better. And now we have a brilliant hockey organization. They're brilliant at the ownership level. They're brilliant at the president level, Matt Caldwell. Okay. They're brilliant at the general manager level with Bill Zito. And then brilliant with their coach in Paul Maurice. And brilliant with all their players. It's a wicked combination from top to bottom. Everything is working, perfectly, dude. You can't beat that shit. It's absolutely amazing. So, by the way, like I told you, they're in the elbow room and they are celebrating right now the Florida Panthers. There they are. They're having a little fun, you know. They're having a little fun at the elbow room. Nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. This is what you should be doing. You know, once you win the Stanley Cup, this is what you should be doing. Celebrating, having a good time. Love it, man. It is absolutely freaking awesome. Let me see what we got here on the chat board. By the way, I moved Manny and Furones, okay? Today's not the day to there's nothing going on Dolphins-wise, and there's nothing going on with the Canes at the moment. So it's nothing. If there was some earth-shattering news, I would definitely have them on. But today I kind of pushed them back. Folks, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, please. We got 160 watching, got 64 right now hitting the like button. So that means we're 100 off. Easily, we could go over 160 right now. So please smash the hell out of the like button. I see Ray Sosa's in, Heriberto Hernandez. Paul Maurice said how much he liked the Panthers 5-on-5. He got his wish, and they delivered a Stanley Cup Championship. I agree. Steven Gonzalez, what a wonderful morning and feeling. Everyone in Miami with pots and pans. Yes, sir. By the way, America, watch us celebrate. Championships. Canes championships. We're not turning over cars. Dolphins, I wasn't around, but I was around for when we I was around when we won the Super Bowls, but it wasn't a thing in those days. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid. But in the 80s, when we made the Super Bowl, pots and pans were out it wasn't pots and pans, but we were out in the streets honking and all that stuff. Pre-Super Bowl. We were out in the streets, okay, parading. What do you expect? We made the Super Bowl. Anyway, and then we've celebrated baseball championships with the Canes, baseball championships with the Marlins, Miami Heat championships with, obviously, the Heat. I'm sorry, NBA championships with the Heat, that is. And now hockey. And we don't turn over cars. We're not knocking down street poles. We're not lighting shit on fire. learn. I'm just saying, learn how to, celebrate. We celebrate, we hug, and we form no ruckus, bro. We form no ruckus. I'd be surprised if one person was arrested. You know what I'm saying? There has to be one somewhere, But I'm just saying, all the shit that goes on in many cities after they win a championship, and it doesn't matter, doesn't go on here, dude. We celebrate and we do it the right way. It's hate to say it because it might piss some people off, but it's kind of like Cuban protesters. We come out, we have a medianoche, we're out in Versailles and Coretta, we're out by that by the torch, and then we go home. And that's it. We don't form a ruckus. We're not turning over cars and lighting our own neighborhoods on fire and shit like that, and businesses on fire and stuff. I'm just saying, bro. You can pick on South Florida for a lot of shit, but man, we're pretty good at protesting, or we're pretty good at celebrating. We do it the right way, actually. There's a common sense to, why are we going to destroy somebody's property? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I like mentioning that, since I'm born and raised here, and there's a lot of effed up stuff all over, and we're part of it in our state. We have a lot of effed up stuff, but I don't know, celebrating and protesting, we're pretty good at it. I don't know, we do it the right way. So I just gotta mention it. That's all. Just gotta mention it. Jay Gelfin is in the house, loving Lord Stanley's Cup. Steve Chapman, Jamie Zoria out in Torreon, Mexico. I hope all my South Florida brothers and sisters enjoyed yesterday's win. Remember to smash the like button. Please smash it. Wow, you guys got us over 100 already. Let's go. 177 watching. Let's go. 101 or 177. Luongo is alive, bro. That's why he banged the hell out of that drum. That was great. He brought energy, and it kept you going. It's not Jack's fault. That was the Panthers' fault. That was a terrible call on their part. Now that the Panthers are champions, can we finally get my beloved Dolphins? Well, it's up to them, not us, my brother. Right? Not up to you, not up to me. It's our passion can carry the Dolphins to many championships, but it's not, that's out of our control. NorCal says, I like number 6. Good morning, Big O, Sean, and chat crew. Time to roll one. Puff, puff, give. There you go. Light it up. Let's see. Brian Walters, Ray Sosa, Juan Rosa. I told my boss today it's the happiest day of my life since the birth of my kids. Boss, I can't work today. Unfortunately, I'm celebrating. She said, good for you. You're fired. She's my wife. Okay, that's all right, Juan. My wife fires me every day. Giovanni is in the house. Now that box is checked, go Cats. Hopefully Inter Miami is next. Yes, Giovanni. You and I move on to the next sport. We're all sports guys. So the focus now is Messi and the boys to get a championship. And then we focus on the Dolphins, hopefully getting it once. Let's see. Big O, still on Chill 9 next week, ordering my T-shirts, hats from Caneswear. I don't want to get it here this week. I will be gone this week. I got you. That makes a lot of sense. One-Eyed Jack is in. I just read on X during the Bitcoin dip yesterday, someone bought $925 million worth. Any idea if that's accurate? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the person that bought like 100 and something Bitcoin. Yeah, that's Mr. 100. Mr. 100 buys like 100 a day, at least. It's crazy. We still don't know who it is. We don't know if it's a country. We don't know if it's a company. We don't know if it's a man or a woman, a family. We have no idea. But, because it's an open source, you see it and you see the movement. And there's somebody that did purchase it. Now, by the way, I want to thank the Germans for being incredibly fucking stupid. So, it's not just the U.S. government that is stupid, because they've sold their own Bitcoin too a little bit. They have still some, because countries that own Bitcoin, they confiscated it more often than not. El Salvador is like one of the few countries that actually buys it, but the ones that some of them have it, they confiscated it and then they sell it. And they're part of the reason why they've lowered the price, and they allow us to get it at a cheaper price. So I want to thank the Germans' stupidity for helping the rest of us get cheaper Bitcoin. So, thank you. I just want to thank. And by the way, if you are German, you should realize that your government is freaking stupid. Just absolutely. Your economy is going to crap. Okay. And, you kind of need that for your reserves. But, it is what it is. By the way, Bitcoin's at 61,700 right now. Got all the way down to 59. I hope some of you bought. I know I did. Let's see. Sneak attack is in from one of the worst teams in the NHL to the Meow Meow Cats to the Cardiac Cats. And now they have something else to be known as champions. Phenomenal game by Bob and the team. Thank you, Luongo. Yes, sir. Kyle Cockrell is in the house. Yes, sir. Ty Crook. Yes, sir. I'm too tired, man. 3 hours of sleep, says Drago. Think Blue Dodger says, good morning, Fins Nation. I know woke up lighting that victory cigar. Yes, sir. We always light that victory cigar whenever you get that win. We did it last night, by the way. But hey, we can light it up again. Oscar Rojas is in. Reminding everybody to smash that like button. Smash it, baby. 119 already for 181. You guys are doing it. I love it. I appreciate you all out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, folks, we got our merchandise department, so you can check it out. We've got a merchandise link and all. Let's put it up for you right there. And let me show you some. Not this. This is a throwback. I had to whip out some throwbacks. But you can go on our merch and find. We have this 305 stuff, and this is the Inter Miami one. We've got it for the Canes and for the Dolphins. And see? So great way to support our show on the merchandise. We got hats, Bitcoin Big O Show hats, and Big O Show hats that are the Big O Show logo, not the Bitcoin one. This is the Dolphins one. We got this on, we have these for all the sports pretty much. But obviously the Dolphins one is the very popular one, the Truth on Dolphin Sports. As we give you the truth here on what's going on. The truth on South Florida sports. Got that. If you're a classic logo fan, bring back the old logo. You can get these shirts, and you got them in multiple colors too. We're hopefully getting them this week now, so we can start sending out the colors. If you order the white shirts, they go out right away. Those of you that have ordered the white shirts, you've seen them, you get them right away. If you make an order of just white shirts or hats, you get them right away. And then there's the blind ass fan with the donkey. Not for the blind. This is the not for the blind ass fan. And this is another one that a lot of people have ordered, the Big O Show Bitcoin shirt. We do have the Bitcoin hat. Great embroidery job, by the way. Amazing stuff, dude. Okay. There we go. 3A graphics kicking ass. We have that hat in black and white. I didn't know if the white hat would sell a lot, but it actually looks great when it's on, and it actually has moved. So it's pretty cool to see that people do like the white hat. You know what? Let me put this away here. All right. So visit our merchandise. You can use that QR code. You can also go to our, it's also here on the YouTube page where all the links are to all of our merch. All of our sponsors. And we have it on our Instagram page. And I post it also on our Twitter timeline, all of that good stuff. So check out our merch page as always, man. Appreciate you all out there. And Welton Rayom, proud sponsor of our program. By the way, we are in storm season. So if you suffered any water damage and the insurance companies are giving you the runaround, which they give it to all of us, call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. Okay. They will crush these insurance companies. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. They'll handle the insurance company for you, so you don't even have to. Life is tough enough. You also got to deal with all the bullshit from the insurance company. Let these guys handle the insurance company. Trust me. And smash the hell out of that like button, please. Mr. Spock is in the house. Roderick Freeman is in. The odds for next year's Stanley Cup are in, and the Panthers are plus 900 to go back-to-back. The management is building a winning culture. Well, no, they already have a winning culture. Roderick, it's 5 straight years of the playoffs. That's winning culture. It's unfair to say, oh, they won a championship, they have a winning culture. That's not true. They had a winning culture already. Now they're a championship culture now. Now they've got a championship in their culture, but they've been winning, dude. It's 5 straight years of the playoffs. That's impressive as hell. I don't know how many. I can't say I follow hockey that I can name, but I would say there are very few teams in the NHL that have made the playoffs 5 straight years. You know what I'm saying? That's winning. They established a winning culture. Now they got the championship. Now they can build to become an elite franchise. Now, you know how we've looked at Tampa? That's kind of what you want. You want to be. That's what we wanted to always be. Be an elite team, an elite franchise like Tampa. Not just one. See if you can get another in the next couple of years. Hopefully next year. But keep that winning culture going where you're constantly going to the playoffs. And now, the best part about this, Roderick, is that we're going to have players lined up to want to come here because they have everything. The ownership, the culture, the front office, the coach, the players, South Florida. So sky's the limit now for the Panthers because they've built it. Lisa Rose is in the house. Lisa was texting me throughout the night, throughout the game, and she was like on the edge of her seat, cheering for the Panthers out there. And she's out in Rochester, okay? Let's see. Mr. Spock is in the house. Panthers got that cup. Glad I took the day off. Had no shot at working my condition this morning. Yeah, I'm hurting too, man. I'm with you guys. It's 3 shows and a late night last night because I did the show with you guys, and we did, I don't know, what was it, like an hour and a half yesterday, and then I didn't go to sleep right away. I couldn't. So I watched a lot of the highlights. I watched a lot of the stuff that was going on. So that was cool. Sneak attack. Yes, Panther players are celebrating at the elbow room. We put up the video and the pictures. Eddie Lepp is in the house. Yes, sir. Lisa Rose saying Championship Tuesday. That's right. A-Rod says, it's a beautiful Tuesday morning. The Panthers are champions, and I don't know who the hell the Marlins are. I hear you loud and clear. Exactly. There's no reason to worry about something that doesn't care about you. It doesn't really care about winning. These guys care. Feeling cat fever today because the Florida Panthers won the freaking Stanley Cup, says Ariel Saravia. Robert T, great game, but considering the pedestal of the game, the TV production was meh. I don't care about the TV production, bro. I care about my Panthers finally winning a cup. Okay? That's what I care about, dude. You know? I've been a Panthers fan since day one, and you know, to me, this is the pinnacle of everything. I don't really it's you know what that reminds me of, that I'm going to be worried about the coverage or this or that. That's not going to take away from my moment. It's the whole thing of the Jim Gregory Award. Okay? Best GM. Did Bill Zito win it? No. Did he deserve it? Yeah. Of course he deserved it. He should have won it. Conn Smythe. All right? They gave it to Connor McDavid for his whole, he had an incredible playoff run all the rounds. Like we talked about yesterday. I get it. He was awesome every round for them. And so was Bob for us. Maybe that 3-game stretch, hurt him. And that stopped him from winning it. I don't know, whatever. But easily Bob could have gotten it. I don't care, dude. I don't care about those individual awards. I don't care about the television coverage. I don't give a shit if the announcers were depressed that Boston was about to be eliminated or the New York Rangers, because I felt biased, especially in that Ranger broadcast. Were they dying for the Rangers to come back on them? Don't care. Don't care. All of this is the sweetest part is it's about the team game. And the team came through last night. And they won the most important award of them all. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. The coverage was fine with me. It didn't matter. I enjoyed it, especially at the end, watching all the celebration, watching all the guys skate around with the cup. I saw plenty of interviews. I saw a champagne-filled locker room. I thought it was pretty cool overall. I enjoyed the shit out of it, dude. So for me, the parade is on Sunday in Fort Lauderdale Beach, by the way. So that'll be on, right there by all the bars and all that kind of stuff. I would imagine that's where it's going to be, from the Yankee Clipper all the way up. Is it still called the Yankee Clipper? I don't even know if it's still called the Yankee Clipper. Now that I drove by there recently, but I didn't really look if that, what is it, a Sheridan or something? I forgot now. Somebody help me out with that one. I forgot. I don't know if it's called the Yankee Clipper or something like that. Anyway, what else do we have here? Alex Toledo. Thank you, Bill Zito, Paul Maurice, and, of course, Viola and Sifu, and this wonderful team. What a year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with you. Let's see what else. Troy Ortiz, Panthers are champions. Yes, they are. Chris M., Panthers are champions. I watched all 3 Heat championships, both World Series titles for the Marlins. There you go. There you go. It's a beautiful history. You think about it, from the 90s till now, We've had a lot of champions crowned, and we've been able to celebrate a lot of championships here in town. It's pretty cool. It's very cool, actually. Let's see. They should take the cup to Miami and the Keys. Somebody will. Somebody will. That'll happen. The Elbow Room isn't owned by our South Florida boy Kimbo Camper. No, he's no. The Elbow Room, I'm sure, have owners from a long time ago that have been there for a while. What else do we have? The championship is for all players, current and former, says Rosendo. Eddie Lepp says, just booked my Airbnb in Fort Lauderdale. Richard says, Edmonton wanted to win, but the Panthers knew how to win. I like it. And last night, obviously, Panthers, we talk about coverage and watching them celebrate on the ice. I think, this is a cool moment. Bailey Veronica, I guess, on Twitter was there on the ice filming, because you can see the reflection of the glass. And this is the guys here celebrating.
10 seconds left. 2-1.
Oh, okay, it's probably the screen is probably what it is. But it's pretty cool to see the guys win in the celebration. I mean, this is the kind of moment I don't know if we'll experience again. I know we have the team to come back and challenge it and win it again. But you just never know. All right? And a lot of shit has to go your way. We've seen where the Panthers have been injured at the end of the year, where Kachuk has got a broken clavicle, and Radko Gudas has like this high ankle sprain, and another guy's got some other serious ass injury. I forgot. There were so many injuries. It was ridiculous. And you've got to be healthy enough, which they were healthy enough. You got to have, the puck bounce your way a couple times. You got to have things go your way. And then you've got to have that team. And finally, you have that team and you have that moment there. To get that moment there is a really cool thing. That's what you can't beat. And you don't know if you're going to celebrate it again. So enjoy the hell out of it. Because just don't know. Those little moments. And as I was gathering all that kind of stuff, it was just cool to see, the team in this moment, because how hard they work. And there's the Lamborghini holding the cup in the locker room. So when we talk about coverage, you can get it on television, you can get it on social media, you can get it on pics from the team. These are the kind of moments that you don't know if you're ever going to celebrate again. I take it from a guy that has been in these locker rooms with champagne all over the place. I was in the 06 locker room with the Heat when Wade won his first championship, and Alonzo and UD and all those guys, and Shaq. And the place was full of champagne in Dallas, by the way. This was on the road where they captured that championship. And then I did the 97 championship with the Marlins, full of champagne too. I've been in those kind of moments. And for those of us that have enjoyed those two moments with the Marlins, remember, those two moments with the Marlins in 97 and 03 came all from Dave Dombrowski. Because Dave Dombrowski built the 97 team, the 97 team, And then the fire sale of 98 produced 95% of the players that won that World Series. Okay, it was only like Pudge and Redmond and Urbina, and they added like Pierre. They added like 4 or 5 guys. The rest was all from the fire sale. So Dombrowski basically built those 2 championships. Everyone else that took over could never come close to building a championship team. And those of us that enjoyed 97 and 03, I don't know, you'll never enjoy another baseball championship ever again. There'll never be another World Series championship again here unless ownership changes. Unless you have ownership that does what Viola and Sifu have done to give us the Lamborghini type moments, and that's the groovy thing. By the way, all your championship gear, you can go to Caneswear, use our code BIG010. If you live anywhere outside the area, you can't drive to Caneswear, you order online. If you order over $99, you'll get free shipping and still use our code BIG010 to get 10% off on top of that. So if you want to get your Panthers championship gear, Caneswear already has it. Use our code BIG010. Okay? Save 10%, man. That's what we're here to do. You can pre-order a lot of the championship stuff. You can order the Eastern Conference Championship, the Stanley Cup stuff. All of that is there at Caneswear. So BIG010, use our code, save 10% off. Remember, you can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin donation, which on a dip, it's a beautiful thing to make a Bitcoin donation on a dip. We always appreciate that. Let's see what else. And Bitcoin, by the way, 61,796. So it was at 59,353 at 3 p.m. yesterday. So it's gone up a little bit. If you got it at 59, good for you. Let's see what else do we have on the chat board. South Florida has won 5 major championships: the Natty, the Lombardi, the Stanley, the World Series, and the O'Brien. Yes, sir. MLS Cup is next. Big O, how'd you think Dale Talon's feeling right now? I don't know, bro. But two of his players won the championship, right? Barkov and Ekblad. Am I right? Those were his guys. He wasn't good enough anymore. He had his run in Chicago. He picked a few good players here, but he could not do what Zito does. Build the entire team. And he was building a soft team. That was the frustrating part about Dale Talon. That's why yours truly was the first guy in town to say, hey, you got to fire Dale Talon. And boy, nobody would touch that with a 10-foot pole. I would bring on the writers. I would bring, no, you got to fire. No, because nobody wants to take on the heat, except we do, of course. And so I'm glad, just like the Huberdeau thing. You know, sometimes you got to make the tough decision. At that moment, to say fire Dale Talon was taboo. At that moment, to say you can't win with Huberdeau and Barkov as your leaders, 2 goobers. You need somebody that's a badass, that's got some fire, that can lead the team. You got to get rid of one, and obviously it's Huberdeau. You know, this is why I tell you about the Tyreek thing. Like I told you about Butler, like I told you about X-Men after the 10 interceptions. You got to know when to get off that gravy train. And, Tyreek's going to have another great year, but he's now heading into his 30s. You get intoxicated with that, and you're not willing to part ways with it. But you've got to make the tough decision to get better, because some things don't get better. They get worse. And the Huberdeau Barkov thing was not going to get any better. Dale Talon was not going to get any better. And after you milk Tyreek another year, I believe you start playing with fire. I believe you need to get off that gravy train. So this organization made some tough decisions. Ownership said, we got to get off the Dale Talon train. And they said, yeah, this Huberdeau Barkov thing, this needs to change. Sometimes tough decisions are the best decisions, but they're painful, Josh is in the house. Good morning, sir. Keep smashing that like button. Let's go. Let's get it. You guys could easily get it over 200 because you're at 153. And right now, 192 are watching. Way more than 47 haven't hit the like button. So I ask you, please smash the hell out of the like button so you can get the algorithms out there. Man of 1,005 holds, Captain Saki. He's in the 305 today, says Captain Saki. The Panthers just lost 3 straight so we can win at home in Game 7. Agree, but a Dolphins Super Bowl might take us to another dimension. Yeah, I mean, nothing equals a Dolphins Super Bowl in this town. Nothing. We all know that. That's the obvious. It's up to the Dolphins to do it. It's not up to you or me. Oh, is Bob now the greatest goaltender in Panther history? Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely. He's a champion, dude. He had a championship-like season. Would Beezer have won this championship? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No doubt about it, but this is the guy that's got the champion. So, yeah, I could give Bob the number 1 spot. Big O, if you sold bumper stickers, I'd buy. We're going to get bumper stickers, but we're waiting to – dude, I've had to build up the inventory first for all the shirts and the hats. It's really easy for you guys to say all this stuff, but I'm the one that's got to come up with the money, and I've got to come up with everything and put it all forward. And so, this is – I'm a mom and pop type store. You know what I'm saying? It's just me and Sean, the wife helping me out. That's kind of what it is. So it's really easy for you guys to ask, but I'm not a corporation. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for a corporation or any of that kind of stuff. So you want to get me to the stickers? Help me with all the other stuff. Hit the like button. Visit our sponsors. Go to Caneswear. Use our code. Go to Acura. Go to Toyota of Hollywood. Buy a shirt. Buy a hat. You know what I'm saying? Make a donation. All those kind of things. So it's not done. It's like another guy. Hey, you should be doing shows in the intermission. Okay, you want to keep wearing my voice out? You want to pay me? It's just, guys, you sometimes you got to take a step back and understand what this is. So I'm on my own. We do everything, shipping, everything. All the work is done in-house. So not easy. So we desperately need your support constantly. It's important. You call Welton Rayom, you make sure you tell him you heard it on our show. Hey, Jeff, just want you to know I heard it on the Big O show. All these kind of things are very, very important. Cutter's Edge Pro, you need landscaping, all that kind of stuff. These are the things that are going to help us grow. Okay, so we can add stickers and add everything else and, buy stickers so then we can sell the stickers, Anyway, Let's see. What else? Big O, do you think eventually when it comes to the awards for the playoffs, they're going to have separate MVP awards for the Stanley Cup instead of no, Anthony, the sport is the sport. You adjust to the way they do things. It's not a matter of, hey, let's do things because that's the way this sport does it, or that's the way, or, I've heard also, hey, let's enlarge the goal in soccer. No, dude, that's the goal. That's it. If it's a 1-0 game, you live with it. That's the idea. Scoring is precious. That's why when you score, you watch them go nuts because it's not going to happen a lot, and that's kind of the idea that it's a difficult thing to do, so we're not changing it. That's the way they call the whole thing. They give their MVP for the guy that had the best playoffs stretch all the way through. So, that's it. So I don't think they're going to change any of that stuff. That's been like that forever. Richard Kamak says, at least now we will never have to hear another fan base throw in our face that they have a championship and we don't. That's right. And maybe you get number 5. I know a lot of you don't care about Inter Miami. You don't care about MLS or soccer. And I know some of you that do care only care about Messi. But so I'm not really, obviously for those of you, it doesn't matter. But for those of us that are like true sports fans, and we have all 5 pro sports, I want that MLS Cup, dude. I want it badly, because I'm an Inter Miami fan. Not a Messi fan. I'm an Inter Miami fan, no matter who's wearing the kit, Messi and whoever comes after and whoever was before. Uncle Neil is definitely celebrating with us right now. There's no doubt about that, Asher. No doubt about it. He was mentioned yesterday on the post-game show. Ocala Joe in the house. Congrats to the big hockey fans. I'm hoping to feel what they feel with the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. Let's hope so. Let's see what else do we have here. Chris Z, we weren't ready last year. This year we had unfinished business. Amen. It was a live and learn thing, like I started the show with. The President's Cup is a kiss of death. We learned that 3 years ago. Last year, 2 years ago, we learned don't touch the Eastern Conference trophy. And they did, and they got smoked, and they weren't ready. This year, they kind of hit the brakes on the President's Cup thing. They were headed for it, and they kind of hit the brakes a little bit. I don't know what happened. And then when they won the Eastern Conference, they made sure they didn't even want to get even close to the bitch. Okay? I mean, you live and learn, bro. You live and learn. Jeremy Dorset throwing in a Jeff Conan. Let's see. Damn, the Oilers scared the shit out of me. So close to making another goal. Thank God that was not the case. I screamed so loud my dog almost did a backflip. That's funny, Juan. That's funny. That's good shit. Brooklyn Rob, the video of Chucky jumping into the Atlantic with the cup this morning was special. Yeah. Yeah, that cup is going to be everywhere, bro. That cup is going to be everywhere. Can you imagine putting a camera on that cup and following it everywhere it's been over the years? That would be one of the best movies of all time. Think about that one. Okay? Put a camera on the cup over the last couple decades and follow where that cup has been. Because I'm sure it's been also in some pretty interesting places. Don't forget, folks, you can support us Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can make a Bitcoin donation, which we love, especially during a dip. Mace Taggart, thank you for the love in the super chat. Ty in the Bronx, Viola and Zito deserve all the credit. They'll win another one. You think big? Well, when you have that ownership group, when you have Matt Caldwell, when you have Bill Zito, yeah. Oh, and Paul Maurice. Yes. Yes. We definitely, I'm not saying for sure you're going to win one because that's just fan shit. We all say that. But hell yeah, you have a shot. You have a great chance. I'll go that far and say you got a great chance to at least win another one. With this kind of leadership, when you're driven by those owners, Viola and Sifu are not just owners and they're trying to make some of you, are young. Some of you are new to our town and you don't have the full history. So when I say stuff, you may not, but if I go Chaffel and Cunningham, you may not pick up on it. But that was our original owners for the Heat. Louis Chaffel and Billy Cunningham, and both rest in peace. I'm about to trash them, but, rest in peace. Those guys were shysters. Okay? I don't care what Billy Cunningham did as a coach and a player, and I was a Sixers fan before I was a Heat fan. Okay? So it has nothing to do with any of that. I compartmentalize all this shit. All right? When they came here and they brought the expansion team and they bought it and all that, they were out to make a buck. They weren't trying to win. You watch Sherman with the Marlins. He's not trying to win. He can't. Okay? So we know what it is to have real ownership. The Viner group that used to own the Panthers. It was like 5 dudes. They didn't have the money, bro. Just like Sherman's group is like 15 people. When you've got a bunch of people, I've never been a fan of that. And that was my gripe when they sold the Marlins to those guys. One of my gripes is I like one woman, one man, one couple, one family. I don't like a lot of hands. I like Viola Sifu. It's like Viola 90% or 95%, and Sifu's like 5% or something like that. But he is the second major owner of the team. I don't know how much it is, but it's a nice chunk compared to what you and I could ever dream of. But my point is, we know what bad ownership is. So Mickey Arison, right now Riley has his B game going. He doesn't have it. Riley hasn't had an A game in, oh my God, it's 2 decades now, almost, since Shaq. Because Riley hasn't recruited a damn thing here. That's been all Wade, okay? All Wade. He brought the big 3 here. He brought Butler here. Riley didn't do that, okay? And B game and all, you've gone to the finals. You've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals and all that. And you got Mickey Arison. You got the Arison family. They'll spend. So you're good. You're always competing. You got the Moss brothers. Those crazy sons of bitches, you're not going to stop them. They built a stadium in 8 months. They got a beautiful soccer academy, practice facility right behind it. They're going to build Miami Freedom Park. They brought in Higuain and stuff just to kind of try to get it going. And then they ended up getting the big fish that everybody talked about in Messi. And then they added Suarez and Busquets and Alba. It's just stupid. And when those guys run the course, they'll go get another star. And they're building young guys. So we're always going to have a shot with those crazy bastards running the team because they're maniacs. And guess what Viola and Sifu are? They're the same as the Moss brothers. Crazy sons of bitches that love what they do and they want to win. How do you not love that shit? So, do we have a shot? Hell yeah, we got a shot. When you have Viola and Sifu, you always have a shot. When you have the Arison family, you always have a shot. When you have the Moss brothers, you always have a shot. And by the way, when you have Stephen Ross, you're going to have a shot because he is willing to do whatever it takes to win. He just has to get his Zito in place, which I believe it's Greer. Okay. He has to get his Paul Maurice in place. Paul Maurice has a hell of a lot more experience than Mike McDaniel. That's where he has the inside track on him. I mean, for Christ's sake, Paul Maurice, it took him 26 seasons to win this championship, 1,985 games, 10,457 days since his debut in this league. 26 years it took him to win a title. But you need everything, right? You got to have that combination. So when we talk about, do you have a chance to win another Mace or what's it called, tying the Bronx? Yeah, dude. Of course they have a shot to win another. Of course they have a shot to win another. This is an excellent organization that is developing, just like Inter Miami. They are going to be an absolute beast in the MLS. Okay? They're changing the rules and everything. The Moss brothers are such maniacs that they're forcing the league to loosen up the purse strings and change the rules so you can allow more international talent in here, more stars, because they're watching the impact that Messi has right away. What a shocker. Bring the talent and we'll fill stadiums. 192 already to 193 watching on the likes. Look at that. You guys will get us over 200 shortly here. Let's go. I love it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wow. As always, Ho-Yoon. Ho-Yoon, you are an absolute angel, my brother. Thank you, sir, for your amazing support on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Thank you. And he says, have a great week. Well, we started off with a championship, Ho-Yoon. I don't know if a lot of these weeks this year can start off any better than this one with the Panthers than with the championship, my friend. That's where you can't beat it. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. Thank you. Gordon Shumway. Oh, don't do that to me. You said Sheffel and Cunningham, and my left eye started to twitch. Those of us that are old and lived it, Sheffel Cunningham, Bruce Sherman, the Viner Group. Look, I don't care that Loria won a championship. As I explained just prior, it was built by Dombrowski, okay? It wasn't built by Loria and any of those guys. We know what bad ownership looks like. And Gordon knows what I'm talking about. You anybody that lived it, when you mention, Sheffel and Cunningham, we cringe. Because we after Arison took over, holy shit, dude, where we were headed to Nowheresville. We were headed to Shermanville. What the Marlins are, Shermanville, that's what we were going to be with the Heat. We were going to be Shermanville. It makes you cringe. Just makes you cringe. Let's see. Rojas says a big shout out and remembrance to the man, the myth, the legend, Wayne Huizenga. Without him, nothing is possible. 2 World Series and a Stanley Cup. R.I.P. legend. He's smiling up there. Yeah, man. Hey, listen, we have a baseball team because of him, even though we have shitty ownership groups. We have a hockey team because of him. And he did his best to try to get the Dolphins. He brought Jimmy. We all were drinking that Kool-Aid. He fought for Saban and then Parcells. I mean, I don't know what more you could ask, because at the moment we all thought those were the right moves. None of us were saying, oh, no, don't go after Saban, when 7 other NFL teams are going after Saban. Oh, no, don't go after Jimmy. We love Jimmy and all that stuff because what he did in Dallas, and he won the championship and all that. And the games past Shula by and all that kind of stuff. So, we know. We have plenty of experience. Your daily reminder that Jay Fiedler is the last Finns QB to win a playoff game. Don't mess with my man Jay. Okay? Don't mess with my man Jay. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I proudly have a Fiedler bobblehead. I'm serious. I respect the dude. I know he's not a great quarterback, but he's got my respect. I was a beat guy, covered that dude. One of the toughest son of a bitches I've ever seen in sports. He played with an effed up hand, had an awkward handoff because he had to do it with the other hand, and he was tough, man. He was tough. He might have been a little better. The injuries wore him down a little bit down the stretch in the last couple of years. He had too many injuries. But he was tough, man. He was tough. I know he was limited, right? When he had to throw an out pattern, he had to roll to whatever side he was throwing the out pattern so the ball would get there enough because he didn't have a gun. But he was a smart dude, tough dude, fearless. He would do whatever it would take to win. So for me, Fiedler has my respect. Do I look at him like Tua or Morrill or Strock or Marino or Greasy? No, I don't look at him like that. But I have immense respect for Jay Fiedler. I'm never going to argue, oh, great quarterback. No, I'm not going to argue that. But respect, toughness, he had it all. I give him that. And he was good. He was a solid leader, too, on top of all of that. Chris Z says, people are so impatient. 40 games into last year, and everyone wanted Paul Maurice fired, myself included, and look now. Let's see. Orlando, who's the best Jewish player ever? I don't know, man. Hong Kong ETFs bought the hell out of the dip. They will, and so will the Australian ETFs, and so will the US ETFs. But the Germans have sold, the miners have sold, because it's like $54,000 to mine a Bitcoin. And right now it's at nearly 61, 62. So the profit margin is little to none, actually, after you put in the equipment and the everything else that you have to. So it's a lot of money to produce a Bitcoin, to mine a Bitcoin. So you have people selling right now. Miners are selling. Miners' possession of Bitcoin is at an all-time low now, since like 2014 or 15. Miners are because smaller miners are dying out, because until Bitcoin makes its next push where it gets to 90, then it becomes a little bit more affordable and then profitable, for them. So it's just it's a tough situation. And then you have soft hands, people that panic, and they got in at 40 or 50 and they think, oh, this is the top. Let me get out now and let me get my profit. And I don't blame those people, or the people that got in at 67 or 65 and they're panicking and they're selling. So you have a combination of all of those things going on right now. And that's been what's the shock to the market. Okay. That's kind of been part of it. But eventually, all of that stuff is being bought by different people, you and me, the ETFs, all over the world, and then others. And all of that will balance out, and it'll get all scooped up by others. And then the supply shock is coming. And when it hits, it's going to shock people. I think this is like a volcano that is building and building and building, and we're going to get a God candle. We're going to get a God candle. You bet. I would bet anything pretty much that from now till February of 25, we get at least one God candle. In the entire bull run here, we'll get 2 God candles, I think. We'll have a run where Bitcoin will move $10,000 in a day. That's a God candle. Okay? It's going to happen. And you'll see. Let's see. What do we have here? Big O, your Mount Rushmore of Florida Panthers. Barkov is right there. I'm going to put Kachuk right there. Reinhardt, the season he had, I'm putting him there. And Bobrovsky. Yeah, I'm not putting any of the guys from the past. They're not these guys. You know, I love what I saw in 96. I covered it. But come on, man. That was a blue-collar, happy to be their team. And Pavel Bure was here, but the toughness of a Sam Reinhart or a Verhaeghe over Bure any day of the week and twice on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Or Kachuk over Bure. You know, Bure was a beautiful, fast player, but a complete finesse player. You know? No. I'm going to keep all the guys that are modern day guys on my list. You know, Ray Sosa says, crazy to think outside of the Dolphins, South Florida sports has to be the quickest city to win championships when you consider the Heat, Marlins, Panthers didn't exist till the late 80s to the 90s. Yes, you are correct. We are quick in winning championships for all of our expansion teams. It's a great point you make, Ray. Not only do we have the foursome, well, we might be the only city that 3 of the 4 are modern day expansion teams, and we have all 4 championships. In other words, like in other places, the baseball team is, 100 years old, 70, 80 years old, whatever. The hockey team is 50, 70, 100 years old. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of towns where they have the 4 championships, it's a great point, Ray. I would love to compare it to the towns that recently have earned the 4 teams. And, okay, do you have the 4 championships? And that's a great point, man. That's a fantastic point. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All South Florida franchises should follow the Viola, Zito, Moss brothers way of running a franchise, Big O, says Ty from the Bronx. Yes, sir. And thank you for the super chat. Ty, again, Studley, thank you for the super chat. Very kind of you, sir. What else here? Do you think Judas is out there thinking, shit, should have taken less for one more year? Oh, what can I tell you, bro? I know who you're talking about now. But no, in the end, you didn't need him. So they added Zito, the Tarasenko move, like stupid. The shit that Zito does is just ridiculous, man. Oh, Toronto is an original 6 and hasn't won the Stanley Cup since 67. Yeah. No, but I mean, what he was talking about makes a lot of sense. If you think about like the cities that have just been able to pick up the other sports, because maybe they only had one or two, and they have expanded into the other sports and now have all four, and they expanded in the 80s to 90s and early 2000s, how many of those cities have all four champions? Like Arizona's one, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. Does Arizona have all four? No, because the Coyotes don't have a championship. The Diamondbacks have one, right? The Cardinals don't have one. Okay, so they just picked up four. Stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what's the cities recently in the last 25 years to pick up, or 30 years, to pick up all four teams. And then do they have all four championships? Denver has all four, and they don't have one with the Nuggets, right? So, like you can pick out like immediately stuff like that. And if they do have all four, like in New York, they've had those teams for forever, But in the expansion years, he's right. It's a great point. We've been very lucky in that sense. Let's see. The Dolphins were only 6 years old when they had the 72 season. All of our teams were young when they won. Yes. Well, Panthers aren't young. Panthers are old now. They're old. And the Heat also was old too by the time they won, because it's 06 by the time they won. And they came out in 88. Not super old, but they were out. Like the ones you're talking about is just a couple of years out from when, like the Marlins, they won it like right away. It's pretty cool to be able to win it right away. You expand, and in a couple of years you win a championship. That's pretty amazing. Nicholas, thank you for the text. Lenny, good afternoon, Big O, Sean, and all of you out there. Only popping in during my lunch break. Work has been hectic lately, but I'm tuned in for an hour at least. We'll watch the entire show later on replay. Thank you. And watch time is very important for our survival. Okay? Watch time. And you guys got us over 215 likes already. That is sweet. That's pretty freaking amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Got to get it now. Now we got to get it to 300 is what we got to do. That is awesome. Thank you very much, man. Very much. Thank you. What else do we have here? We are spoiled with our South Florida sports. Yes, we are. Yeah, the Rockies, right, don't have a chip. But that's my point. Like, you can look at those cities, and right away you'll pick out, okay, now you've got all four. Okay, do you have all four? Right away you can pick out that they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good point on his part. Really good point. So Florida wins yesterday. Let's get to our 3A graphics sports calendar as the Panthers capture their first Stanley Cup Championship after beating Edmonton 2-1, winning the series 4-3. Verhaeghe and Reinhart had goals, an amazing series, and coming back after losing 3 straight, and you're in that negative abyss. Just absolutely awesome. The Panthers parade will be on Sunday in Fort Lauderdale Beach, says Mayor Dean Trantalis. So we will find out the exact spot, but I would imagine it's along A1A right after the Yankee Clipper going north. I would imagine that that's where it's going to be, where, the Fort Lauderdale Strip is and all that. That's where it makes sense. Right where they're at right now with the Elbow Room, celebrating. So good stuff there. By the way, Saturday, Inter Miami will be back in action. They will visit Nashville at 8:30, and that's what we're down to. We're down to MLS soccer now until we get training camp with the Miami Dolphins. So we're down to one sport in town, and that is soccer, dude. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. Reach out to my friend Alan Blanco. If your company, by the way, needs custom printing and embroidery, call Alan, 786-618-1443. That's 786-618-1443. And make sure you tell Alan Blanco that Big O sent you. Okay? Trust me, take care of you in a big time way. Let's see. What do we got here? DJ Ozone. Good afternoon, everybody. Why keep trashing the Finns GM? I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't even know why that's. The Finns GM is doing a hell of a job. Oh, in your opinion, what's the most important thing a sports franchise need? Owner. An owner that's willing to do whatever it takes to win. If you don't have that, you'll never win. I mean, once in a while, you know, the sun shines on every dog's ass. So I'm not going to tell you that there isn't Jeffrey Loria. There isn't a bad owner that wins a World Series because, you know, Dave Dombrowski left him A.J. Burnett and Beckett and Penny and what's it called? Castillo and God, now I'm forgetting all these guys now. I'm brain farting now at this moment. But Lowell, what's it called? What's his name at first base now? But anyway, left them all that freaking talent, and they end up winning, you know, the World Series. So you sometimes bad owners can win, but more often than not, bad owners don't win. Bad owners are like Bruce Sherman. Bad owners are like the Viner Group. You know, they don't win. You know, what Loria did, he got lucky that they left him all that freaking talent. No, Moises was from 97. Derek Lee, Miguel Cabrera. Yes. All that stuff came from Dombrowski. So, you know, Alex Gonzalez. Yes. All that stuff came from Dombrowski. He left him a world of talent, a base that could get him a World Series. That's how good Dave Dombrowski is. So if you don't have an owner, it ends right there pretty much. That's my experience. With Stephen Ross, we will always have a chance because he will continue to spend and make whatever changes. And if it's not the right players, and if it's not the right coach, and if it's not the right front office, the guy will then make the change. Is he loyal to a fault at times? Does he maybe hang on to people a little too long? Yeah, okay, but there's nothing wrong with that. You want to be, you know, you want to do your due diligence in that sense. You want to give people a fair shake, a fair opportunity. I can understand that. But without an owner, Troy, you're done, dude. I just talked about the Moss brothers. I just talked about Viola and Sifu. I just talked about, you know, the Arison family. There's a common denominator there. And Stephen Ross, he just has to, I think he has the right people now in place, finally. But it's ownership. The Panthers won the Stanley Cup because they have great ownership. Because 7 years ago, you weren't thinking of it, and they stayed with it. And they kept signing their young guys and kept building a core. And, we need a goal. Okay, well, then let's go out and get this guy and pay him $10 million a year. Oh, we need to change the GM? Then let's do it. We need to go get a new coach? Let's do it. We need to trade for Kachuk? Let's do it. You don't win without ownership willing to do what it takes to win. And that's why the Marlins will never win. And you can waste your time and you can waste your energy and waste your money, but they aren't doing anything to win, really win. They want to do enough to get by. So that's your answer, Troy. Bruce Sherman or Viola Sifu. It's pretty simple. Let's see. Big O traded Jeff Ireland to the Marlins. Yes, I would trade Jeff Ireland to everywhere. Let's see. Funny story about Encarnacion. I went to college with his brother, and we taught him all the bad words, and he went around talking crap to people. It was hilarious. Well, that's what we Latins do, right? Our American friends, our Anglo friends, want to learn the bad words, and that's what we teach them. We provide a service. So how do you say this? And we tell them, and then, the rest is history. It's a beautiful thing. But hey, man, if we don't do it, who will? Good afternoon, Big O and Sean, and good afternoon, everyone. Let's go Panthers. Let's go Panthers for another championship. Oh, man. You guys are a trip. By the way, it wouldn't be our show if I at least don't do, because today's not the day where I'm going to be doing a ton of variety sports talk and talking about. There's nothing really Dolphins and Kane, so we passed up with the guys. But let me do a little music here at least and entertainment stuff before I get back to your questions and a little Panther talk. Some birthdays today. Let's go with it. George Michael, the late George Michael, was born in this state. We lost him in 2016. Born in this state in 1963. Kim, no, that's the wrong one. That's another one. Wrong name there. Ricky Gervais, comedian, is 63. Angela Kinsey, TV actress, is 53. Del Curry is 60. Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. I really enjoyed his shows, man. He was born in this state in 56. We lost him in 2018. Let's see. Sonia Sotomayor, Supreme Court Justice. She is 70. Busy Phillips. She is 45. All right, let's go with musicians born on this date. Mike Kroger, bassist for the Canadian rock band Nickelback, which has sold more than 50 million albums worldwide. George Michael was born in this state in 1963. David Paich, keyboardist, singer, composer with Toto, born on this date in 1954. Tim Finn, singer-songwriter with Split Enz. He was also at Crowded House a little bit. 1952. Born on this date in 1952. Let's see. Alan Lanier was born on this date in 1946. Guitarist, keyboardist with Blue Oyster Cult. First time I was pulled over by a cop, I was jamming Godzilla from Blue Oyster Cult. I was in Hialeah. I was in my Rally Sport. I was 15 years old. I had my restricted. I wasn't supposed to be driving. And I got stopped right by the Follies off of Okeechobee. There was a road that would lead right towards the back side of Sports Rooms. Because Sports Rooms was right off of the Palmetto. And then that next road, I forgot what it was, but that road out of Follies would lead right into it. Now there's warehouses and all kinds of stuff there. So much shit is built there compared to the stuff that was back there. But I do remember the lights going on, and I was jamming on my Pioneer Super Tuner with my IDI Power Booster and my JBLs 6x9s, and I was jamming my Blue Oyster Cult Godzilla the first time I ever got pulled over by the cops. Anyway, if you ask me what happened, it's a different era, ladies and gentlemen. I told them I took the car from the house, and I live a couple blocks away. He saw the license, and my dad's there. And they actually called my dad, and my dad came to pick me up and took me home, and nothing happened. Anyway, my dad's super cool. It was a thing that he and I had. Like, he knew I could drive. It was irresponsible, I know. Okay. Rest in peace, Dad. It was irresponsible, but I drove when I was 15 a lot with my restricted, a lot. And the trick was, okay, if you get busted, tell them you took the car from the house and that you call home. This is a different era, ladies and gentlemen. Different era. Okay. Normally you would have gotten arrested, all that stuff. It's a different world that we lived in back in the early 80s. Okay. Just absolutely different. I was drunk one night. I was, I want to say I'm 17 or 18 years old. I'm in my 280ZX, and I'm coming back from back streets, and it's somewhere in the 2:30 range, something like that. Back streets would close at 2 a.m. because Fort Lauderdale at that time was 2 a.m. And then and so me and my girlfriend are going back home. Again, different era. Me and my girlfriend are going back home, and she's wasted. She's asleep in the car. I'm buzzing pretty bad, and I'm kind of tired. And one of those tired where your eyes shut a little bit, and I open, and I'm this far away from the wall. And I get back, and I straighten up, and before I know it, lights are going on. And I get pulled over around the Palmetto and I want to say between 57 and 67th Avenue. No, 47th and 57th Avenue, because I was about to get off from 57th Avenue to drop off my girlfriend because she lived in Carroll City. I lived in Hialeah. But my license obviously says Hialeah where I live. And so, different world. Okay. He looks at me and he says, "Are you drunk?" And I go, "No, officer, I had a couple beers, but I'm not, he knows I'm wasted." And is she all right? She's tired. She's asleep. He wakes her up and she looks at him and he knows she's wasted. And he goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, I'm just trying to get home. I'm a couple of exits away. I got to get off on 103rd. And if you know the Palmetto." And different world. He sees my license. He sees the address. He goes, "All right, follow me." He guides me to my house. I pull into my house. He leaves. I pull back out again, go to Carroll City to take my girlfriend home. Oh, man. When you're young, you do a lot of stupid shit. All right, here we go. Carly Simon, born on this date in 1943. Oh, you're so vain. Happy birthday to her. What a voice. What a voice. Harold Melvin, born on this date in 1939. Happy birthday to him. He died in 1997 on March 24th. Let's see who else. That's it. That's musicians. Now we go with a little music history. On this date, on June 25th. In 1988, Van Halen started a 4-week run at the #1 charts with OU 812. In 1967, on this date, 400 to 700 million people around the world watched the Beatles perform on Our World, the first live international satellite TV production. The Fab Four were backed by Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Eric Clapton, Graham Nash, Keith Moon, and others for the broadcast. In 1988, original Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist Hillel Slovak died from a heroin overdose. In 1969, guitarist Mick Taylor made a performance debut with the Rolling Stones in Rome. In 1995, Pearl Jam on this date canceled their current tour, citing ongoing war with Ticketmaster as the reason. In 1970, Hall & Oates recorded together for the first time. In 1994, Stone Temple Pilots started a 3-week run at #1 on the album charts with Purple. In 2009, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, died of a heart attack after being given too much of the drug propofol by his doctor. And that's what happened today in music history. And today in history, Barkov is celebrating by holding up the trophy and getting clean and showered, and it's a beautiful thing. Look at that. He got drafted here. He grew up here. You know, he's one of the best two-way players in the history. Not the history, but in the game. Maybe also the history of the game. Who knows? I'm not smart enough, but he is as special as it gets. And it's pretty cool to watch him also grow a little bit more emotionally as a person and open up, because he was so reserved for so many years. And this is the Kachuk effect. The Chucky effect is in the house. And this moment is a pretty freaking cool moment for him to be in that locker room and they're showering, because, you know, all those dudes know it's a pleasure to play with him every single day. Right? Because he's a pro's pro. He brings it every day, and he's a great two-way player. And that moment right there is pretty freaking cool, dude. Pretty freaking cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? Damn, Ty in the Bronx again. Thank you, sir. Big O, what's the latest concert you've been to, big guy? Oh, God. What was the last concert I went to? Jesus Christ. I'm forgetting now. I did go, by the way, to see U2 at the Sphere last year. I saw him 3 times. I saw the opening night at the Sphere, and then I saw him twice in December. I know I went to a concert a couple of weeks. I haven't gone to as many concerts as I normally go to, because I kind of been investing instead. Been putting more of my money into Bitcoin than concerts. But I did just get recently tickets for The Fix in November, for the Interrupters also, twice in a week in September. What else? Man, I know I went to a concert recently and I forgot what the hell it was. Weird. It'll come to me. I don't know why, but I know I recently went to a concert. I don't know why. I can't remember what freaking concert it was. But, the trips to see U2 at the Sphere, that was absolutely amazing. So hopefully now, after the bull run is over here in early 2025, then I'll get back to hitting the concerts. Cash out and hit some concerts. Peter says, Big O, remember when you had a fantasy football league with your fans and Splib was in it and drafted all the white guys and won? Is that how it worked out? I forgot, but I do remember Splib. I don't know what happened to him. You know, when we made this switch from radio to this platform, we lost a lot of people because they just have not, they have not transitioned to this. You know what I'm saying? And then they haven't really, because I run into people every day, like Ty in the Bronx. Like now Ty's like, this is like Ty now is part of the platform where he hasn't been part of the platform early on, but Ty was on Sirius following me, on QAM following me constantly, and now it's beautiful to see that he's here on the platform now. But that's kind of what's happened, man. That we've lost people along the way, going from one to another. Now we've gained others too along the way by going to the platform too. So, there's good and bad. So, let's see. I see all these new Panther fans with shirts and jerseys with the crease still in it. Yeah, the bandwagon's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, dude. That's kind of what it is. They're not all going to be, classic fans like yours truly. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. And that's the beauty. Hey, man, I want more people on our bandwagon. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Just like we want more sponsors on our platform. If your business wants to be a part of our platform, maybe we can broadcast from your business anywhere in the city, in the state, in the country, in the world. We will travel. You bring us to your place. We will be there. We will broadcast a day, multiple days, whatever it is. We've done shows on the road. So please reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664. That's not a request line. That's not a sports talk line. That is just a business line. So if your company wants to be a part of our platform and support one of our insiders or support some of our pre and post game shows for the Dolphins, or you have a bar or a restaurant where we can broadcast from and bring some business your way, please reach out to our business line at 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. And remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can always make a Bitcoin donation. Hector Peralta, thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Thanks for covering South Florida sports all this time. Congrats to the Panthers and their fans. Thank you, Hector, for supporting the hell out of our platform, dude. That's what we appreciate. And you do that, Sean and I can continue to cover this thing for years to come, dude. And that's kind of the plan. If you will allow us, and you will support us, we will be here to, do our thing for a long time to come. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate all of you out there. Still have my Panthers ball cap from 96. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. I've got a bunch of shit from my 90s and 2000s. Well, this is a jersey from the expansion years. Right here. This was bought in the first or second year. This jersey right here. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the first year. That this jersey is. So this jersey is 30 years old, 30 something years old. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Caneswear. Okay. Go to Caneswear. Caneswear.com. Use our code BIGO10 and you will get 10% off. They got all kinds of Panther stuff there too. You can pre-order your Stanley Cup stuff there online. Use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off. And if you order over $99, you will get free shipping. So kick that ass. Get your Panthers gear, baby, at Caneswear. Not many concerts for me this year. Metric, Royal Blood, Crowded House. I went to Crowded House last year, by the way, Ty in the Bronx, with Pat in Nashville. That's another one. And I went to U2 with Pat in Nashville. I've actually been going to more concerts with Pat in Nashville than most anybody else right now lately. It's crazy. And if I don't go with my man Grieper, I'm going with Pat in Nashville. Bandwagon fans are how you create some lifelong fans, though. Yeah, no, dude. That's how we have people that, okay, there we go. We have people that don't follow hockey now will start to casually follow it. We have the casual followers that will become more hardcore. That's kind of the way it goes too. And by winning, you motivate people to educate themselves. You know, we've done that with Bitcoin on our show. Lots of you have gotten motivated to learn about Bitcoin, to learn about, wow, how much they're screwing up our money. Yeah, bank accounts are dumb. Yeah, I shouldn't have my money sitting in the bank or in a savings account. No, I should have it sitting in Bitcoin, not in a savings account. Yeah, you know, you learn those things. Why? Because you educate yourself. And why? Because you get motivated by, wait a minute, it was at 16,000. Now it's at 20. Now it's at 25. Now it's at 30. Now it's at 35. Now it's at 40. Now it's at 45. Now it's at 50. Now it's at 55. Now it's winning. So you like, well, hey, I want to be a part of that winning. How's that thing winning? How does that work? And now you've educated yourself. So the Panthers now winning. Hey, how does that hockey thing work? And now that's how you build your bandwagon. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. They're more, everybody's welcome. You know, just because I've been here from day one, or some of you that have been here from day one, what we're going to be snobs about it, and oh, you're not allowed on it or whatever. No, dude. You know, I love when it rings and it says scam only. Anyway, so you know, bandwagon's a good thing. You know, it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like it's a good thing to watch the Lamborghini do his thing. And here he is. Let me see. Here we go. Let's go, Lamborghini.
Don't do it unless you got the right group and you do the right things every day. And you know, it takes everybody, like I said, all the players, all the staff. You know, it takes, like you said, a village, and we did it. We did it together. It's the only way you can do it. It took every single one of us, big or small. We did it together. Now we're world fucking champions. I hope that's not lying.
And I love this platform because we can say we're world fucking champions. Okay, I couldn't do that at 640, at 560. Sirius would probably frown on that too. So, you know, it's lovely that I don't have to answer to any corporations or any program directors or anything. I answer to myself. That's it. That's all. And so it's beautiful to have the Lamborghini, you know, talking about that, man. That is awesome. It is so good to be champions, man. I mean, if they didn't win it, God, it would have been painful. It would have been absolutely painful. Let's see. J-Town, howdy, y'all. Congrats to your Panther fans. They were the best team all year and deserve to win the cup. Yes, sir. I agree. Thank you. I know where you can broadcast from. Aqua Bistro Italian Restaurant. Well, Peter, give them the business number, 786-754-4664. Have them reach out to me. I would love to talk to them. If they're willing to be a sponsor, maybe we do our Dolphins stuff there. I don't know. We do a monthly show there or something. If they're interested, please reach out, 786-754-4664. We get a ton of traction during football season, so it's always awesome. So we appreciate it immensely. Anybody that wants to join, we appreciate it, bro. All sponsorships are appreciated. That's how we survive. You know what I'm saying? Do you do anything superstitious when you watch your teams, like sitting in a certain spot? Nah. No, I did switch up my caps. I went back to a throwback cap that I have there of the screaming cat, and we won yesterday, but that's about it. If you want to call that a superstition, I figured let me switch it up here, and that's what I did. Big O, they should have closed it out in the fourth game. That game was embarrassing. To complain about a championship is ridiculous. They won the championship. Whatever it takes, win the championship. What you can't do is lose it, dude. So, you act like we're above reproach here, that we're supposed to be perfect or something. Like we've been winning cups going out of style, and we've won 3 cups in a row, and this is our 4th cup in a row, and you were up 3-0, and how dare you? Come on, dude. Let's step into reality. Apparently, the elbow room is going down further in history as South Florida staple. Oh God, yes. It didn't really need this, but it was a great idea. Great idea putting Jack Nicklaus to tap on the drum, that was a terrible idea. Going to the elbow room to open up the celebrations, that's a great freaking idea. It's a great bar. It's a historic bar. It's as South Florida as it gets. I know it's the heart of Fort Lauderdale and all that good stuff, but the elbow room, dude, come on. It's notorious. There are very few bars in South Florida. I think if I'm right, in Dade, it's Churchill's. What bar do I put at the level of the elbow room? There isn't in Dade. Believe it or not. There isn't in Palm Beach either. There's some big-time bars, but nothing like that. So, anyway, folks, we appreciate it. We thank you all for amazing support as always. We're going to wrap it up here on the show. We will see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll talk more about the world champions. We'll get some interviews too. We'll bring on Manny Navarro. We'll bring on David Furones, and we'll get back to it. But today was a day to dedicate to the champions. Tomorrow we'll get a beat writer on for the Panthers too, and we'll get But today, let them recover and do their thing, and they're doing their follow-up stuff and all that. So I don't want to bother people today, and I can easily carry the show and get through it. Appreciate all of you out there. I love you all. Thank you all for supporting us, visiting our merchandise shop, by the way. If you can, please visit it. Use our QR code there. Thank you as always. Hit the like button. As always, make a donation. Visit our amazing sponsors. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.